So we'll go add this, plug everything back in and turn it on and poop with wild abandon.
He's Bill, I'm Jeannie. We're two do-it-yourselfers who met on a sailboat in 1988. 3 houses and 4 boats later, we're refitting our 1998 Seahorse Oceaneer 55-foot steel trawler, Blue Sky. Welcome to our journey. What you doing, honey?
The electroscans meter is finally showing low electro voltage, and even when we make sure we have good salt concentration, it'll just barely get above 14 amps or just for a moment. So we're going to finally do the cleaning on that, and the first step of that process is I'm going to go down here, I'm going to go disconnect the wiring for the control box, because you don't want the box to activate while you have the cleaning solution in there, because it can damage the electrode and probably other parts and whatnot. I think you end up disconnecting the electrode and the macerator, and 3 wires you disconnect. So I'm going to climb down in here, and then we will mix up the solution and get that flushed into the toilet. So now we are supposed to disconnect the red wire, which is right here, which that is the electro wire. It's now done. Next wire is this orange wire, which is the mixer. And finally, the last wire is a white wire here, which I think is the macerator. Yeah, that's the macerator. Okay, so all 3 of those are disconnected. I just want to wrap a tiny bit of metal sticking out. I don't want these to contact the ground or anything. Ah, come on, get out there. And one more piece. Okay, of course it wants to fight me. So, for future installations, since we have at least 1 more, if not 2 more of these to install, I want to make sure those wires are easier to get to. That prepares this lower unit. This is the Electroscan, obviously, and that's the line coming down from the toilet. We're going to put about 4 gallons down into this, which should flush the one into this, get it into this, and get it even into some of this hose later. We are at the toilet here. Yeah, amp 0. Yeah, right now I'm just running some water through the system, and then I'll pour this big thing in. Okay. Oh my goodness, you're heavy. Okay, this puppy is now full of treatment stuff. We will let it get treated for a while. 6 hours, so we won't dump it out until later this evening. Later. It's been over 6 hours, and we are now flushing the chemical out.
We've already put 5 gallons of water in.
6 and 7 gallons. Filling it, what we probably should do is mix up some salt.
Why salt water?
Electroscan takes the salt and breaks it into sodium and chloride, and then it uses that chlorine for treating the waste particles and whatnot. And that's what the whole electrode is doing, is it's running a current through there which breaks them apart, and now you have something that'll treat the waste material, because chlorine's a very good disinfectant.
Why are we mixing salt water right now?
Because we've put a whole bunch of fresh water into the thing. When we get normal water into our toilet, it's fresh water, but then we have a saline tank which puts salt water in there. Well, of course, right now...
But it's not salt water from the ocean.
It's not salt water from... Neither one is salt water from the ocean. It's just pool crystals. But right now, the tank's completely full of fresh water, so it would take quite a while or quite a few flushes to get the salt concentration up to the point where the electrode would be happy again. So I'm trying to jumpstart the electrode by putting injection of concentrated salt solution into it. So we'll go add this, plug everything back in, and turn it on, and poop with wild abandon. I don't want to flush that yet. Open this door, do some boat yoga here. Ooh.
Bye-bye.
Here's Mr. Macerator. Ow. Great. Now my leg decides to cramp up. Come on, you silly tape. Come off of there. Actually, probably didn't have to put the tape on these. They're not actually energized. That's back together. Would you like like to do the honors?
A flushing?
Yeah. Firing up down below.
Come on.
Yeah, it takes 30 seconds for it to go through pre-treatment. It's starting.
3, 9, 11, 11. Warning. 11.
Oh, come on. It's slowly going up.
What's it supposed to be, like around 17?
Above 14.
So does that mean it's not making any chlorine at all?
No, anything above 7 volts, it's still working. It's just not very efficient. It goes longer when it doesn't have high voltage. I think we're done for the night. We'll do some more tomorrow.
Well, that's disappointing.
Later.
Yeah, and here's a nice pretty hatch. Go back over this guy. And it just basically sits down like that. Step on it, lock it in place, and take our handy dandy suction cup unit off.
So we didn't solve the toilet issue by cleaning the MSD. So now Bill is trying something else.
Yeah, so this is our brine tank. This is the pump, and it seemed to work just fine when I had it out of the little chamber that it's normally in. I stuck it in the water in there, and it sucked and ran water, pulls probably half a gallon or more out each time. And then I pulled the float out, and I did disassemble the float because when I pulled it out, it should have been putting water in. It was putting no water in. But it appears it had become clogged a little bit, and so it wasn't letting water in like it was supposed to. I believe the reason for that is this lightweight pool salt, but it's fine granules, and I think the fine granules have been mixing in and they've clogged things up.
Like salt mud.
That decorative sand stuff you used to be able to get. But I think the bigger things, there's a grid underneath all this. It's supposed to hold the salt up, and so you have water underneath and salt on top, and as the water passes through that salt, each time you pull water from underneath, it's getting taller and taller.
What is that?
Remember
a toy?
Oh yeah, it was sand, the crazy sand,
yeah.
You decorate with.
Oh, reliving our
childhood. Okay, I'm gonna put this float back in. Let's confirm it's still working. I'll turn the water on behind me here. Yep, still seems to be producing water, so that's a good sign. Okay, so now we'll put this guy on. We got one more to put on. I'm sure someplace in the instructions it says not to use that fine salt. I think that's actually like pool salt, where the other salt's water softener salt, maybe. Anyway, get that guy in. A little cover here, which I think is supposed to keep you from getting stuff in there that you're not supposed to. There goes the water pump. Now let's see if it'll come up and shut off. There's an overflow right there that, well, it didn't go very far. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it automatically sets its level. It should be correct now. The issue is I'm hitting salt down there now. That's not good. Well, let's see if we can get it to flush again and see what it does.
Hello?
Okay, do another flush. Okay, there's putting water in the bowl. Might be able to see water going through this. It should be a little airy. There's a bubble right there. We'll see if it zips along here in a moment. There's my problem. The pump is getting stuck in the salt. I can't put the pump deep enough in the well that it's in good water with the salt that's in there. Bring the little Milwaukee vacuum. So we're going to attempt to vacuum as much of that little salt. Salt I fill now, getting less, but boy, I can't get over to that other tube though. That's going to be a problem. There's the problem. There's the overflow valve. Let's see. Take off our zip tie. We can disassemble this entire thing. Oh my goodness. I'm going to sit here and dig out more salt. I probably can get the rest of it with the vacuum here. Okay. There's our neighbor's boat. that has the channel Sail Life, they are leaving tomorrow. They head for North Carolina. Gonna be sorry to see them gone. So let's put this beast back together. Maybe. All right. There we go. We'll take this tubey, stick it in. So I got this overflow there. Okay, so that's back on. And now let's put the float back in. Okay, let's hold that down. And this one. Okay, and this guy can go back on now. And let's push him out. Come on. Okay. Oh, fiddly faddly. I didn't put this on. Great. Okay, and again, push this guy out of there, slip this under everything. I just did not want to go on very well. There we go. Okay, yeah, no, okay, much nicer, at least correct. Wow. Now we can close this one up, straighten the hose up, and pump. Now that we got this thing all put back together, the way I believe it operates is you have a bed of salt, big salt kernels that can't go through the little holes down there. And then below there, the water's clear, so the pump has nice clean water to pull from. And then the pump pulls water down. Well, as the pump pulls water down, the water moves through the salt, making the new water that's going to be below there, replaced it with saltier water, and then you have nice salt water. So you have a big storage of salt water above, and you have salt crystals on top, and then the float over here protected and the pump protected. What I did is I got that little granular stuff and put it in there. Well, of course, all it did is it fell through all these little grate holes, filled that entire chamber up, so there was no clean water for the pump to pull. It wasn't dropping water through it, and then eventually the float got mucked up with small crystals, and so it didn't seem like it was letting water in. Basically, I just messed it up royally. Everything's empty out, it's cleaned out nice and neat. Going to put some big crystals in here in just a second, and then we will turn the water on. This is a good amount to start with. Okay, I need to put a sign on this thing, large crystals only. Let's turn the water back on. Pump should come on in a moment. Yep, there goes the pump. And we'll see if this thing will fill all the way up. Fill this all the way up. Salt will slowly sink down below as it gets used, and that way, maybe I'll have to store any salt. I don't know if I can get a whole 40-pound bag in there or not, but maybe 20 pounds worth of salt. Come back when it's full later. Just about got water in there. It's about to come through. Now we're starting to get some water. Note to future me, do not put fine granular salt in a Raritan brine tank. Hey, I think we are there.
Hello.
Okay, give it a flush.
Flushing.
Got
15, 18, 15.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't call for salt every time. I thought it did, but didn't call for it this time, or I broke the pump. The past 2 times it's come on, but it didn't come on this time. It may take salt getting low. So what I want you to do is, once it stops, fill the bowl, and then do a big flush.
I don't think it's filling anymore.
No, it stopped.
I'm pushing the button.
Remember what the voltage readings were? Voltage.
In the high 90s.
Does the panel still have lights?
Yeah,
Try the button again.
I am. I've tried it several times.
Do the big flush.
Yeah. Now water's coming into it.
Yeah, it'll do 2 flushes. The motor kicked on.
13, 9, 14, 96%. Back up to 14.1380. 14.1.
But it wasn't pumping any water. The pump ran, but it's not priming.
Home, well, that's disappointing.
I think last time the pump got clogged up with salt.
Oh, 9.5.
Okay, the pump is now clear. Ah! I need towels now. You get one part of this fixed and then something else is breaking. Okay, stop. Once this works, water's gonna go freaking everywhere. Okay, do it again. Okay, stop. Yeah, what the hell? Touch it again. Okay, well, that works. Okay, turn it off. I got water everywhere. Of course, now the pump's primed at least. Turn it on again. Stop. What is going on? Let's try it this way. I need 3 freaking hands. Okay, start it again. Okay, stop it. Okay, do it again. Oh, come on. Why do you lose prime? Okay, stop it. I need some Teflon material. Plumber's tape. Start it again. Okay, now it's working. Okay, you can take it off. I think everything's working at the moment. Hello.
Little or big?
Little's fine. What's the current?
100% voltage, 9900, 98, 97, 10, 11.
Okay, it turned on. Appears to be moving water. Don't understand why water is coming up there though. It's very interesting. Like the pump has a leak in it. We're gonna track down what the cost is to replace that silly pump. And I still am waiting for that pump to show up, although since putting the water across the top, it has worked okay. So that may be the solution. I think that means the top plastic part of that pump maybe has a break or something in it. Anyway.
Later.